We want our SMEs to succeed, and not just for economic reasons, not just because they comprise roughly half our GDP. We also want them to succeed because they are part of the lifeblood of our society. They are part of Singapore, and they contribute to the vibrancy of Singapore, as Mr. S.S. Teo pointed out as well. So we must transform and revitalize our SMEs in this next phase of our development as a country. We are intensifying the restructuring of our economy, but that doesn't just mean intensifying the tightening of foreign worker policy. It's not just intensifying the pain. We are in fact intensifying our support for our SME sector in particular during this transition period. Put simply, of the 5.3 billion three-year transition support program, about 2/3 of the monies are expected to go to our SMEs. And I'll elaborate on this in a short while. About 2/3, roughly in proportion to their share of employment. Now, first issue which we have to think hard about is the pace of restructuring. About not moving too fast, but also not moving too slowly. Several MPs spoke about this: Ms. Jessica Tan, Mr. Lim Biao Chuan, Mr. Seng Han Tong, Engineer Lee Bee Wah, and Mr. Inderjit Singh. In fact, many were concerned about the pace with which we are tightening foreign worker policies and what the impact will be on our SMEs. Mrs. Lina Chiam had another view. I think she was disappointed that we were not tightening more significantly and across all sectors. It's an important issue. I agree, and I agree with Inderjit, for instance, that restructuring is not something to be achieved in 2 or 3 years. But we are not starting from today. We started in 2010. We started in a very determined way in 2010, made clear our directions that we had to grow on the basis of productivity and much less on the basis of manpower growth. We had to do it to sustain wage growth for Singaporeans, and we also had to reduce our reliance on foreign manpower, slow down the growth of foreign manpower. We made clear the directions, and we also made clear that we were not going to turn back. And I made it a point, in fact, in Budget 2011, 1 year after we started this, to emphasize that we will not any longer, as we had done many years in the past, vary our foreign worker levies for cyclical reasons. So you have a slowdown or recession, you lower your foreign worker levies. We made it clear that this is here to stay, and the direction is clear. We have to keep tightening and keep leaning on firms to do more to reduce manpower demand and to invest in productivity. So we started in 2010, and this 3-year transition package is 3 years after 3 years that have already taken place of significant tightening, very significant tightening in levies as well as the reduction in dependency ratios. As I mentioned in the budget speech, to be quite frank, we are making this next set of adjustments in full knowledge of the difficulties that businesses will face. But there is no choice. If we do not achieve momentum in the next 3 years, there's real risk that 3 years from now we will be in exactly the same position. And both workers and businesses will be worse off. So we have to gain momentum in the next 3 years. There is no choice.